Hi, it's Tim here, and today I'm going to demonstrate the advanced functions of dynamic processors. Now we're going to be looking at peak versus RMS, look ahead, sidechain, and the knee. Now to start with, I've got isotope up here, and to give you the quick overview of the difference between peak and RMS, peak acts on the instantaneous level of input signal. Whereas RMS takes a root mean square of all of the values. Now, taking a root mean square is used in electronic engineering, in analyzing waveforms, and it's especially useful when you have values that are in the positive and the negative to be able to compare. And within music, within sound waves, it's useful to avoid those quick changes in gain reduction and reduce how evident compression actually is, which is what you're trying to do. You're trying to adjust the signal without adjusting the sound too much. Of course, you want to change the shape of the music in a way that suits you, but there are some things you want to try and avoid, and a lot of these advanced functions are there to counteract some of the compromises that you come up against when compressing things heavily. So your peak versus RMS function in isotope is down here. You can change between peak and RMS, and within your standard compressor in Logic, it's down here. You can select between the two. RMS gives a more rounded sound, basically better for the human range of hearing. Now, the look ahead function is one which provides a compromise between the slow attack rate, which can give you a smooth level of gain reduction and sound good, and a fast attack, which can catch those transients that you want. And the look ahead actually doesn't look ahead as such. It doesn't look into the future. It simply delays a signal and then adjusts it when certain parameters come through it, or when the threshold is affected. So the cost of using the look ahead is actually a slightly delayed signal. Now the knee, usually either soft or hard, or in the, to show you an isotope, it's there. Soft, you can see it's rounded as it hits the threshold. Hard, a quicker response rate and more choppy sound. In your Logic compressor, you have a ratio of how hard or soft you want the knee. Varies between 0 and 1. Side chaining is something that's been used recently in a lot of dance music, and also what it does basically is it takes the volume input of another signal, puts it into your compressor, and adjusts the amount of gain reduction based on the volume level of what's coming into it. So you can have a look on this, how that sounds. If I unsolo this and give you the organ compressor, what I've done to the organ compressor is side-chained it to bus 10, where I have this kick drum routed to along here, bus 10, no output, so it's just a kick drum signal, and that's coming into the organ. So if we solo the organ with the kick drum, because you need that signal, have a look how that sounds. You can see the sound comes in and out based on that kick drum. The gain was a little high to begin with, but you get the idea, and you can adjust that how you want, and that's being used fairly often at the moment, I would say. So there are your four main advanced functions. Of course, there's a lot more to be said about each one, but that's a general overview, and it really comes down to experimenting with them. In my opinion, RMS is better than peak. It gives a more rounded sound. Generally don't use look ahead. The sidechain is interesting if you want also to perhaps reduce the impact that having a low bass line and a low kick drum could have by making that bass line come out when that kick drum comes in, so that you don't get a double amplitude at that same frequency, which could cause distortion and not allow your song to be as loud as it could be or as punchy as it could be just because of that one moment in the song. You can use sidechain for that, or to create an interesting effect on perhaps an overlying synth, organ or piano or something like that. But have a look around, and hopefully it's been useful.